everybody, welcome to another Gnumeric tutorial. Today I'm quickly going to show you how to get up and running with creating charts within Gnumeric. Again, we are at the open source CSV file site, which I'll link in the description of the video. Today we're going to be using this hurricanes.csv file as an example data set to create these charts. So all you have to do is just select the hurricanes.csv file and it should download. It should show up at the bottom of your browser like that, and you just click it, and then you're going to want to open with, and you'll select Gnumeric. Now to open up in Gnumeric, one of the first things I want to do is go File, Save As, and I want to get rid of this CSV file extension and then save it. And you'll notice that it's saved as hurricanes.gnumeric, so the native Gnumeric file styling. So one of the first things we want to do, see these headers, they're the different years. One weird thing with Gnumeric is it will interpret it as numbers, so what we want to do is convert this into text. So the way we're going to do that is by adding a YR suffix in front of it. So it's pretty easy to do that. All you do is equal sign, single quote, double quotes, then type in YR. I'm going to put a space, double quotes, and then you're going to want to put the add symbol. And then from there, you're just going to select the header, and you'll see it's making a reference to C1 there, and you press enter. And then all you have to do is take this corner here and then drag it across, and you see how it's updating as it goes, and then it will automatically change the cell it's referencing. So that's easy enough. Now you just want to highlight this information, so just hold down the left trigger on your mouse, and then after that you right click, and then you're going to select copy, and then you're going to select C1, and then you're going to right click again, and then you're going to go down to paste special. Once you're in paste special, as the paste type you want to do as values, and you press OK. If you didn't do that, it would have an error and it shows up as a reference. So just go back, you can always hit the back button here, and then paste in as values. Now that we've done that, I'm going to delete this down that row down there, and then I'm going to go to File, Save. You also can press Control S if you want to save a little time. Okay, now that we got the data set situated, I'm going to show you just a basic column chart. So it's pretty easy to do that. You just go up to Insert, Chart, and then you can see the different options. Today we're going to go over the column, and there's a few different types. This is a stacked, and this is 100%, but for now we're just going to use the basic. And then I'm going to press Insert, and then I'm going to drag it across. So one of the cool things you can do in Gnumeric, if you right click it, there's a snap to grid, so I'm going to select that, and now it's going to nicely fit within the grids within Gnumeric. Now of course a blank chart is not really all that helpful, so to populate data within a blank chart, you want to right click it, and then you go to Properties, and now you're going to see this kind of hierarchy, and I'm going to expand this. You can see this hierarchy kind of reference table here, and that's going to show you the different components within this chart, and we'll get into a little bit more detail with another example. But to start, all we want to do is add some data to the chart. So you can see here this plot par column 1. You want to select this series 1 down here, and then you're going to want to go to data. This first one is the reference of the name of the data you want to plot. So for this example, I want to plot the average column here. So all you have to do is select B1. And then for the values, I'm going to delete this here. And then I'm going to just select all the values in just holding down the left trigger and select all of them from 2 to B9. And now you can see the example plot here, right? And now, of course, you have these different labels down here. Now, obviously, in some situations you might want numerical, but this one, where there's the different months here. So for the labels, we'll do the same thing, but instead of selecting B, we're going to select 2A to 29. And now you can see the chart is updated with the different values. So that's pretty much how you plot the data. One of the things I would like to show you is that gray background here. Typically, I personally don't like that gray black background. So all you have to do is select this back plane 1, and then you want to go to fill, and then you want to select none. And that's going to remove the background to the chart. And another thing you probably want to add is some type of title to the chart. So I'm just going to, if you select chart 1 and you press add, you're going to see a few different options. And the one we want to select here is title to chart 1. And now you can see title 1 popped up within the hierarchy table here. So in here, I want to type in average data, and then press enter. And now you're going to see it pop up in this kind of preview menu here. Now the last thing I want to do is add a legend to it. So when someone's looking at this chart, they'll know what data we're plotting out. So that's pretty easy to do. Again, select chart 1, press add, and then we're going to go to legend to chart 1. And then it should pop up to the right there. With that, it looks good to me, at least for this first example. So I'm going to press apply. And then boom, it should update within the sheet. Now let's say you want to change something. So for example, I want to get rid of one of the decimal places on the Y column there. All you have to do is hover over it, right click it, and go back to properties. And now you're going to go back into the hierarchy. So in order to get rid of that decimal place, I'm going to go to the Y-axis, and then I'm going to go to format. And you can see you can select the different format types. It's already on the number, but I just want I don't want any decimal places, so I just hit the minus on there, and then I press OK. So now that looks like a pretty good chart to me, at least for the average. Now, of course, that was a bit manual, and I'm going to hit Control S to save my sheet. So now I want to show you how Gnumeric can help you generate some of these charts. And it's fairly easy to do this. So all you have to do is select the chart area you want to, what data you want to input into the chart. So I'm selecting from A1 to M9, and then I'm going to go back to Insert, Chart. And for this one, I want to do a line chart because it makes a little bit more sense now that we're dealing with a little bit more data. You already can see how it's kind of plotting out the data we've already selected. So if you go to line, you'll see down here in this little preview menu, it's using the years as the x-axis, but we don't want that. And currently, the series as is set to auto. What we want to actually set this up to is columns. And now that we set columns, you can see now the months are at the bottom of the chart rather than the years. So this is the format I think we want to go with. So with that, we're going to go to Insert, and then we're going to do the same sort of thing we did before. And then I'm going to do Snap to Grid to make it look nice. And then we're going to right click it and go into properties because we want to clean it up a little bit as well. So the first thing, like I showed you before, let's get rid of this this background here. We'll set this to none. And then the other thing we want to do is get rid of this decimal place. So you go to the Y-axis, format, and then hit the minus sign. And then we also want to add a title. So you select chart 1 and you go title chart, and I'm going to call this quotes hurricane data, and press enter, and you should see it pop up at the top there. Now I'm going to select chart 1 again, and I want to add a legend to it. Now I'm going to press add, legend chart 1. And with that, I'm going to press OK. Now you can see the chart updated, and we have a nice little comparison going on here with the average and the hurricane data. Now the last thing I want to show you is how you might be able to combine these two different views. So the average is currently within this hurricane data, but we also have this separate chart. But what if we kind of have them on the same sort of plane? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this hurricane data, and then I'm going to right click, copy, and then I'm going to paste it down here. Get it lined up there. And then what I want to do is right click it, go to properties, and then this average one, so you see on the plot lines it got all these different series. What I want to do is get rid of this one. So I'm going to hit this minus, and now you can see the average has gotten rid of. Now if I select chart 1, I want to add another plot type to this chart. So the way you do that, you select chart 1, you press add, and then you're going to go to plot to chart 1. And this time we're going to select column and adjacent columns. And now you can see there's another series that popped up. For this one, we're going to want to do, we want to plot the averages. So you select B1 as the name. We'll highlight B2 to B9. And then the labels will be set A2 to A9. And with that, you already can see it sort of plotting here. You always can go in and change the different colors if you wish. Say I want it to be orange. And with that, I'm going to press apply. And now you can see we have this first original chart, then we have the second one, and now we combine it into this last one where the averages are plotted as columns and then the rest of the data is plotted as lines. So with that, I'm going to take a pause. I think that gives you a pretty brief overview of the capabilities that you have within Gnumeric to make some basic plots. Within the next video, we'll get into some more advanced plotting techniques and different plot types.